Today we're going to talk about an easy way to mark style lines on your dress form. This is my half scale Dittoform that is a perfect copy of me. And then over here I have my full size Dittoform, and you can see I've got black tape pinned all along it to mark different lines I want to use to design a garment. And typically I like to add princess seams, waist, hip, the things I want to use. And then if I'm going to be doing some different piecing, I might change it up and add even more style lines. So the way you work with this black tape is you literally use the flathead pins to secure the tape on the dress form. That is a good way to do it. You can see this mini also has the black tape, and the black tape has been secured with the flathead pins, and that does work really well. The issue that I have sometimes with this method is if I happen to be draping fabric along a style line and I'm trying to pin fabric onto my dress form or my Dittoform, and the pin is underneath the exact spot I'm trying to pin. Sometimes I have little pin wars. I'm going to try this professional garment making tape. This one is 3/8 of an inch, and what you do is you use this to create your style lines. Now, the one thing I need to do on my mini is establish my shoulder seam and my armhole. So basically what I can do here is I can literally take this tape and quickly and easily, tape it onto my Dittoform, and I'm just going to use my little scissors here to cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece I need, and you can see I can tape this on. Okay, and you can see that's sticking really nicely. And then I'm going to do my armhole here. And basically, I think I'm going to start at the base here, and then I'm going to curve. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut off a piece so I don't have the whole roll here. But basically, let's start in the front. So I'm going to go to the tip of my shoulder. Okay, and then I'm going to come down, and I'm going to establish basically where the armhole plate would be. I'm going to be marking that with this tape. And the 3/8 inch is a little wide, so when I go to a curve, I'm just going to put some clips where it's really curving here, just little clips, and that will help the tape conform to the round shape I want to make. But I think you can see here, this is creating, a really nice guide for my armhole, like this. Okay, so you can see I've got this on there, and I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to smooth it on. Okay. And part of the benefit of this tape is, after I'm done, I can take it off and mark something different. So I'm kind of excited about this. So here is my armhole. Okay, so you can see I've now marked my armhole, so I have a good guide for that. I can also use it. So let's say I want to mark my waist. I can use it to mark my waist. So I'm just going to go around. This is going to be the smallest measurement around my Dittoform here, where my actual waist is going to go. And as I'm attaching this tape, I can measure and make sure I'm, getting it so it's parallel to the floor if I want that. But typically a waistline does not need to be parallel to the floor unlike the hip line, which is parallel to the floor. So you can see here, I'm just doing a little bit of, well, it's a little bit of a high-low. My waistline is a little bit lower in the front, so I think you can see this nice red tape right where my belly button is here, and then it'll rise a little bit higher in the back, okay, to give me the exact waistline I would like. Okay, you can see this is really easy to work with. It's really easy to see, and you know, again, I love the fact that I can take it off and try something different if I want to. Another thing I want to add here is, I'm going to make a big long piece, and I'm going to rest it over my shoulder here like this, and I want to make sure it's long enough so I can do my princess seam through the shoulder. So I'm going to cut myself off a piece here that's long enough, and I'm going to find basically the middle of my shoulder, and that's going to allow me to create my princess seam line. You know, all the way down to the full hip. Okay, and then if I have a little extra here, and actually if I want to tuck it into my, you know, under my bust here, and then just keep that going straight down, you can see now I've got a princess seam in the front. So see how nice and easy that was? And then I can go ahead and I can continue that right down the back as well to give me a princess seam there. All right, and I'm just going to trim off the extra. Okay, so you can see now I have a princess seam on this side. I've done my armhole over here. You know, I think, let me do my other princess seam on this side. So again, I'm going to give myself a long enough piece so it makes it all the way down and all the way down. But I have to say, I'm really excited about this because I feel like this is going to be a time saver for me while I'm designing different style garments. So again, I'm just going to take my time, add my princess seam here, like this. Okay, so there's my princess seams in the front. And I'm also going to do princess seam in the back. Like this. So this is my whole torso that I'm working on. So I'm really excited about this. And as I get going, I will be, you know, adding different style lines. I'm going to try, you know, different things to create different styles. So I'm very excited about this Pro Garment Maker tape. I'm putting a link in the description below to Amazon if you'd like to get yourself some. The good news is it's really inexpensive. If you have a pattern maker on your holiday gift list and they are not using this, maybe, you know, get them a roll to stick in their stocking, because this is, I think, going to be a game changer for me in terms of ease of use, right? And then being able to mark all the things that I like without having to deal with the twill tape and the pins. So I think this is going to be a quick game changer for me. I hope you're finding this interesting. You know, so you can use it for your minis, you can use it for your, you know, I could use it on my full-size Dittoform if I want to make more style lines. I'm really excited. This gets my creative juices going. So I hope you found this interesting, you know, and if you have a Dittoform or a dressform and you want to mark it up for different styles, I think this will save you a lot of time. So if you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. If you're enjoying my content, consider liking and subscribing to my channel because it helps me grow. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. Thank you so much for watching.